Darwyn Cooke died this morning at 53 years old. Very, very sad news. And I feel like he's most known for DC stuff. So I thought in my small tribute way I would share with anybody who watches these videos a Marvel comic that Darwyn Cooke drew. This is X-Force, which is written by Peter Milligan and usually drawn by Mike Allred. But this was the first guest issue, and it is drawn by Darwyn Cooke. And look at that extraordinarily Kirby-esque panel there. Tyke Alucard is the guy with his hands blasting. No Kirby crackle, but that is a very Jack Kirby pose. As is Mr. Sensitive up there at the top in the red, who doesn't usually wear that mask, but boy howdy does he wear it well when Cooke has drawn it. And we get Vivisector down there. This was an awesome comic, and it was probably the first Darwyn Cooke art I ever saw. And it did not rate very heavily with me initially until I read New Frontier, which is, I think, probably Cooke's magnum opus. And I apologize for the glare on the comic here. It's just paper stock. I have the actual issue, but this is oversized and lots of good. It just looks better blown up. This is one of the few times where I bought a trade of a series that I own every issue of. This was very much a DC book that took place in the Marvel Universe, even though it was about mutants. It was all about mutants that Peter Milligan and Mike Allred made up themselves. Darwyn Cooke inked this himself. Laura Allred colored it. I'm just kind of taking this in. I make these videos on the fly with no script. I will react to things that I see that I think are really cool. I like that panel. That character's name is Eddie, or You Go Girl. He does great profile work on stuff. And really good close-ups, too. And you can see in a lot of this, the impetus for New Frontier. Everything looks very 1950s style, even though this book takes place in the early 21st century. This is something he would do a lot in his Parker books. He would do a flashback in a more sketchy style. Even though, sketchy for him is still... you could do a whole comic of this style, and everybody would say it looks amazing. And it does look amazing. Here's some more of the sketchiness and flashback. So I get the glare off of that. Some very Cookish panels here. He was a Catwoman artist, I think simultaneously to when he was doing this, which is kind of awesome. And this looks a lot like Selena Kyle and Catwoman. Classic cars, white collar shirts. Great faces. Just so awesome. Just taking her daughter for a tour around the world. Driving at night. Lots of echoes later on of Green Lantern and his girlfriend, Carol Ferris, driving around the test site. And we end with a teleportation into outer space, or the desert, I guess, because the moon is there. And that was that.